Martinez. My name is Itzell, and it's Mask Monday. So today we'll be using this mask, and we'll be going over some Reddit stories. I had like 4 short stories, but 2 got taken down. I didn't screenshot, so the 2 new ones are longer, and hopefully by the time I'm reading them, they won't be gone. I think both times like a moderator took them down. Sometimes people remove their own posts, so yeah. Here we go. How are you doing? I can't complain. I'm doing fine. Um, let's put this mask on. Oh, cold. I forgot which mask I was doing. I'm like, why do I smell honey? Maybe because it's a honey mask. But it smells like real honey, not like all like the heavy processed stuff that they give you at the store. Like, it smells like raw honey, which it has a very specific scent. So I don't mind it. Some people hate the scent of raw honey. I got used to it because my mom would get a bunch. So alright, I'm gonna like kind of hold my iPad, and because I lost my stand a long time ago. So frustrating. Okay, there we go. Because my iPad has like the finger scanner, and I had like some serum. It wasn't coming. So we're just gonna go down. Oh yeah, 15 to 20 minutes. We're just gonna go down the list of 4, like the 4 that I have. So first one. Am I the a-hole for refusing to help a disabled guy with the door? 27F work at a small local restaurant. We have this guy that comes in all the time and is physically disabled, but not at all mentally disabled. Okay, so you're upset that they're physically disabled, but they're mentally okay. He makes creepy comments and tries to prolong weird conversations, okay, socially awkward, with the servers every time. He has at least twice used a person holding the door for him as a chance to touch them inappropriately or pretend it's an accident, but it's very obviously not. Am I the a-hole for now refusing to hold the door for him? I feel bad walking away, but I also obviously don't want my booty cheeks grabbed. Okay, well, are you the a-hole for not opening the door? A little bit. I feel like this is, I understand you don't want to be harassed at work. Fair. I feel like if you don't feel comfortable, speaking up for yourself, because some people will try to make you seem ableist, if you say anything to somebody that's disabled, right? So I get that aspect, and also, even if it's not the fear of being labeled as ableist, it's just hard for people to stand up for themselves in general and set boundaries. So you can have a conversation with your boss, your owner, whoever is in charge at where you work, and like have them have a conversation with him, like, oh, we've noticed like this is happening, it's making other customers and our staff uncomfortable, can you please stop, like something, to get him to stop if you don't feel comfortable saying it for yourself. So yeah, like I feel like just saying nothing does make you a little bit of an a-hole, but if you said something, I don't think you would be, as long as you're not screaming at him. Like, it's a difference between like Please don't touch me. Like, I don't feel comfortable with that. You've been doing it a lot, not just me to so, like whoever. It doesn't make any of us feel comfortable. Please don't do that. Versus, I can't believe you touched me. Why would you do that? You're such a sick individual. Like, hello, that's different. So it's all about the way you handle it. You know? So, yeah. I think him for purposely doing it, if he really is intentionally doing it, that's an a-hole. That's a sick thing to do. And there are plenty of people that use their disabilities in that way to get away with crap, and that's not okay. So, yeah. Don't mind Marshmallow. She's upset nobody's letting her in her room. My twins might be asleep. I don't know. Am I the a-hole for planning on cutting contact with my mother? Okay, there's a trigger warning, mentions of abuse. Growing up, she's been abusive towards me. Since I'm about to turn 20, I've been pointing it out more. Part of me wants an apology and also to tell her how badly it's affected me. Since she grew up in a very traditional Asian family, she deflects it and tells me it's never happened, which angers me so much because the amount of psychological damage done is just irreversible. I have anxiety, unhealthy coping mechanisms, like self harm. Last year, I went off to university. I chose one in the very north of the country to get away as far from her as possible. However, she's made up some excuse about wanting me to travel all the way across the country just to go home for the holidays and spend loads of money on trains. So she's moved up to my uni city as well. Okay, so since she didn't want to spend all the money traveling, she moved to the same city? That's insane. For extra context, we moved to this country less than 10 years ago. So, for the first year of university, I was still paying international tuition. After finishing the first year of university, she told me that because I didn't do medicine like she had originally expected me to, she's pulling me out of the university and will no longer be paying for my tuition. Of course, I couldn't afford my own tuition, so I've spent this year working a part-time job. This September, I'll be going back to university, and as I can now apply for a student loan and pay for my own tuition. However, she's now decided she's going to move to another town outside of my uni city, making me drive myself over half an hour to just get to campus. Basically, reducing my social life down to absolutely nothing. She tells me I'm selfish and nasty and horrible for not wanting to move from my current uni city. The worst part of all is that she spent so much money on me my whole life. I grew up very privileged with lots of expensive bags and shoes she bought for me. She takes me on lots of expensive holidays, but as I've gotten older, I almost feel like it's transactional. Yet I feel so horrible when I catch myself having these thoughts about cutting her off. We cannot get along at all, screaming arguments almost every single night. She tells me she hates me and wishes I was no longer around, how I have to pay her half of my salary when I eventually move out, how much money I owe her, how I'm in debt to her my whole life. She's made fun of my ADHD diagnosis countless amount of times, telling me I look disgusting in my own clothes. Edit. I do know I am also the problem in some of these arguments, but over the years I've become so reactive to her. I'm not like this with anyone else. Just with her, my emotions become so heightened and I'm immediately labeled as rude, crazy, entitled, dramatic, etc. I feel so disgusted with myself. The fact that I'm now actually getting close to possibly cutting her off, but also feeling like I'm just being horribly ungrateful. Okay. NTA. I don't think you're an a-hole for contemplating cutting off your toxic parent. Um, so, I'm dealing with stuff with my own kids, and I think it's so insane when I'm dealing with these medical professionals and the questions they have to ask me, and they're insane. They're like, did you ever force your kid to do this? Did you tell your kid that you won't accept him anymore? And, like, all these crazy questions, and like the doctor is surprised at my answers because of how accepting I am of my child. And I'm just like, they're my child. Like, I don't expect my child to be a carbon copy of me. I don't expect my child to give me grandchildren. I don't have all these crazy expectations. At the end of the day, I want you to be happy, healthy, of course, be able to support yourself, live on your own. Like, of course, I want you to be a good person. But I don't want you to, like, kill yourself to be whatever I think you should be. Be who you are. If you want to dye your hair different colors when you're all grown up, go ahead. You want to be all pierced all over, tattooed all over, go ahead. Just be happy. Like, be happy in your choices and your decisions and all that, and I'll be happy for you. I just don't want you to be a bad person. Like, if you want to be a tattoo artist, if you want to be a freaking teacher, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be a trash person, I don't care. Be whatever makes you happy. So, yeah. Like, I don't get the manipulation, the, like, snide comments. I don't understand that. Now, did I grow up in an environment like that from my grandma? Absolutely. Like, Hispanic households can be very much like Asian households, where can be manipulative, they can have strong opinions, they can be very angry and resentful if you don't do what they thought you should do. There's a lot of that. But also, at the end of the day, I know I want to be happy. I know I want my kids to be happy. I'm a little upset with myself that it's taken me a long time to figure out what I really want to do. But I am also grateful that I got so much time at home with my children. So there's that. And I know I'm still young. It's not like my life's completely over or anything. So there's that. So I think you definitely need a break from your mom. She may never come around, and that's what sucks. But if she did, leave the door open if you want. But you definitely need space from her. And yeah. I know it's hard to make that decision because they're like, it's your parent. They gave you life. They're the reason that you're here. But you can't lose yourself in the people pleasing. You can't let your, like, mental health just crash and burn because of their toxicity. Like, that's reality. Let me know what you think. So, let's get to the third story. Oh my goodness. I think I exited out the other one. Okay. Alright. This one made me laugh. This one is an AITA relationship story. So, am I the a-hole for hooking up with my best friend's brother for the last 2 months? I genuinely feel so guilty, but I can't stop. like they're twins. So we are all the same age and have been in the same class forever. And now we are in the same uni. I generally can't stop no matter how hard I try. He's just so funny and smart and nice and so hot. But he's my best friend's brother. It started 2 months ago when we were both very drunk after a friend's birthday. I woke up with him in my bed. I nearly had a heart attack. We promised to never mention it and it would never happen again. But then it just kept happening. I don't think I even want to stop, but I feel guilty about it. I'm scared of telling her because I know how I would react if the roles were reversed. Am I the a-hole for hooking up with him and not telling her? He thinks we should tell her, but I'm scared too. Oh my goodness. You sound really, really young. I feel like for for not wanting to say anything, you kind of are the a-hole in my opinion. But I understand where that's coming from. Like, you're scared to lose your best friend. And it might be like a kissing booth um, situation. On the Kissing Booth, it's a movie, is these best friends. And L. L. Evans has a best friend. His name is eluding me right now. So, she has her best friend, Lee. She has her best friend Lee, and he has an older brother. And he made it known, like, years ago, no hooking up with each other's siblings. Like, absolutely not. Like, you cannot date my brother. That was a rule. That was a boundary. She crossed the boundary. She kept it a secret because she was scared of losing her best friend. And for a while, she did lose him. He didn't want anything to do with her. It was too much. Because he felt like his brother always had everything, always took everything. And he's like, I thought you were the one thing I had that was mine. And now he took that too. So it was like too much. They eventually hashed everything out and were able to work it out and still be best friends. But it took some time. So that might happen. Or it might be a Ross, like Ross, Chandler, Monica situation where if it's more than just hooking up, if you really have strong feelings, it might be happy for you. I don't know. So, but I understand where you're coming from, so I'm not upset with you for your decision of like not wanting to because you're scared. You're like, well, what if this is just a fling and I ruin my friendship with my best friend? Like, I get that. So, let me know what you think. Alright, this one's a little long. So, last story. Am I the a-hole for ruining my sister's engagement by refusing to take off my late husband's ring? What? That sounds ridiculous. I, 31F, lost my husband Aiden a year ago in a sudden car accident. I'm so sorry. It completely devastated me. We had been together since college. After he passed, wearing my own wedding band was too painful, so I started wearing his instead. It's a heavy custom platinum band on a thick silver chain around my neck. It stays tucked under my shirt 99% of the time. It's just my quiet way of keeping him close. This past weekend, my younger sister Maya, 27F, got engaged to her boyfriend of 4 years, Leo. Our parents hosted a celebratory dinner at a nice steakhouse. I was genuinely happy and wanted to support them. Halfway through the dinner, Maya noticed the silver chain peeking out of my blouse. She casually asked what it was, and without thinking, I pulled it out to show her. Leo looked at the ring, went completely rigid, and got incredibly quiet for the next 20 minutes. For a bit of context, Leo comes from a traditional background where the man is expected to provide everything. Maya recently mentioned he's been stressing heavily over money and wedding costs. Apparently, Aiden's heavy platinum band looked very expensive. When Leo went to the restroom, Maya asked to speak with me outside. In the hallway, she completely went off on me. She said Leo noticed the ring and it made him feel incredibly insecure about the modest band he chose for himself and the engagement ring he bought her. She accused me of flexing my past marriage to make Leo look bad and trying to overshadow her engagement. I was shocked. I told her I literally never take it off. It was hidden until she asked to see it. I wasn't trying to compete with anyone. She then asked me to take the necklace off and put it in my purse for the rest of the night so Leo wouldn't have to look at it. I told her absolutely not. It's the only physical piece of my husband I carry, and I'm not hiding it because her fiance has an inferiority complex over jewelry. Maya started crying, called me a selfish, bitter person who couldn't let her have one night, and stormed back inside. The rest of the dinner was extremely awkward. Since then, my parents texted me saying, while they understand my grief, I should have just swallowed my pride for 3 hours to keep the peace. Maya is now threatening to uninvite me from the wedding if I insist on wearing my dead husband as a prop. My family is freezing me out, and I'm starting to wonder if I was too rigid. Am I the a-hole? NTA. You didn't do anything wrong. You didn't have it on display. You didn't, do anything. You didn't dangle it. Look, you can't afford this. You broke bastard. What? No. You didn't say anything like that. They, let their own egos get to them. They let their own insecurities get to them. You didn't do anything wrong. You feel comfortable still having part of your husband with you, and there's nothing wrong with that, honestly. Telling somebody they can't have their partner with them in some way that makes them feel better, that's effed up if you ask me. It makes them the a-holes. You're not the a-hole. You didn't do anything wrong. So my question would be, if your husband was still alive, would he want your husband to hide away in some corner because he could do for you what he can't for his wife? That's not okay. So yeah, I feel like no matter what, this was always going to be an issue because some people that are insecure in themselves, they want others to shrink themselves to make themselves feel better. And don't do that. Don't give them that satisfaction of making yourself smaller so they can be pleased with themselves. Level up if you have an issue with it. Let me know what you think. Come on, Mella, time to get down. So, overall, what'd you think of the stories? I think that was the last one. Yeah, that was the last one. But yeah, I hate when people are like that with their egos and they want you to just make yourself incredibly small so they can be happy. Be happy on your own. Figure out how to make you happy. You're not happy that you don't have a high paying job. Find a better one. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. You either elevate yourself to be where you want to be, or you learn to be happy where you are. You don't make other people make themselves look small just so they can help you feel better about yourself. It's not her job to make you feel better. That's insane. So, thank you for spending time with me. Bye.